Good morning, my students. Today I am going to start with unit number 6, Habitats, and it's lesson number 4, that is about carnivores and food chains. Just to give you a recall, in previous lesson number 3, I taught you about the herbivores in detail. And who are the herbivores? The animals who are eating or feeding on the plants only. They are called the herbivores. Today I will teach you about the carnivores, which animals are called the carnivores, and about the food chains. For this you have to refer to your science textbook page number 68 and 69. So let's start and see who are the carnivores. The animals that are feeding on the other animals for their food are called the carnivores. They are either eating the flesh or the meat of the other animals. So they are called meat eaters, flesh eaters, or carnivores. Let me give you some examples of the carnivores. The animals like lion, tiger, eagle. You can see here the picture of a lion, of a tiger, and of an eagle. These all are called carnivores, and you can see them. They are eating the flesh of the other animals. You can see here the picture of an alligator and wolf. They are also called the carnivores. And here you can see they are eating the flesh of the other animals. So in this example also, shark and fox. You can see the pictures. They are also eating the flesh of the other animals. So they are called the carnivores. Now, what is a predator? Actually, the other name of a carnivore is a predator. The animal that is eating another animal is called a predator. And next is the term prey. Now, who is called a prey? The animal that is eaten and killed by the predator or by the carnivore is called a prey. Let me explain you with the help of an example of lion and zebra. You can see here the picture of a lion. He is eating zebra. You can see here the picture of a lion and it's eaten by zebra. So in this case, lion is a predator and zebra is a lion is a predator and zebra is its prey that is eaten by the lion. Next, I will tell you that how the carnivores catch their prey. As carnivores are very fast running animals, so they chase their prey very quickly. The first example is of lions. Lions always hunt in a group. They will always eat the flesh of other animal in a group form. You can see here they also have a grouping to eat an animal. Next is an example of a cheetah. Cheetah runs very faster to catch its prey. In this example, you can see cheetah is running after a deer. So, cheetah is a predator and what's its prey? The rabbit. In this example, you can see cheetah that is running after deer. So, cheetah is a predator and deer is its prey. In the next example is of crocodile and alligators. Now how they catch their prey? They stay under the water and they will wait for their prey to come to drink water. And as their prey will come to drink water, they will attack on that. You can see here the picture of an alligator staying below the water and waiting for the prey to come so that he can eat it. Next is an example. You can see here the picture of a snake. It's a predator and what is it eating? A frog. So in this example, snake is a predator and Frog is its prey. And the snake strike their prey with its poisonous fangs. Now there are some characteristics of the carnivores. The first one is that they have very sharp pointed canine teeth. Now why they have those sharp pointed canine teeth? So they can tear the larger pieces of the meat in a very quick time. You can see here the picture of a lion and its pointed canine teeth. It's a picture of a cheetah. You can see its pointed canine teeth. And this is the picture of a tiger having its front sharp pointed canine teeth. So these all carnivores have very sharp canine teeth for tearing the meat. Another characteristic of a carnivore is that they are very intelligent. They have very good sense of sight, smell and hearing. We can see here the picture of a dog. It's having very good sense of smell. Another picture is of fox, and it has very good sense of sight to catch its prey. Next is how the carnivores digest their meat. In the previous lesson number 3, when I was teaching you about the herbivores, I taught you that for them, because they are feeding only on the plants, for them digesting the plant is very harder. It takes a lot of time for them to swallow and then to chew and then to digest the plants. But as compared to the plants, for the carnivores it's very easy to digest the meat. And they eat these pieces of the meat in a very quick time. And they have very shorter digestive system as compared to the herbivores who have rounded and barrel shaped bodies. You can see here the picture of a lion. It's eating the large piece of the meat, and there's a picture of a cheetah. He's also eating the larger pieces of the meat and tearing it with the help of their canine teeth. And because they are getting very rich source of energy from the meat, so it will not take them more time, or they will not need as often to eat as the plant eaters. So they will spend a lot of time in resting and sleeping. You can see the pictures of the lion and cheetah, how they are sleeping and resting. Next is, we will start with the food chain. So let's see what is a food chain. Living things are dependent on one another for their food energy. You can see here, and it will always start with the plants. You can see here, the food chain will start always with the plant, and who will eat the plant? The herbivores, the plant eaters. And then who will eat the herbivores? The first carnivores, and the first carnivore will be eaten by the second carnivores. And in this way, the food chain will keep on going. And it will always, remember, it will always start with the plant eater, with the plants. The food chain I will show you with the help of an example of a video. Now in this video, you can see that all the living things are dependent on one another for their food. You can see here the example of a farmer. He is planting the food, and then in return we are the one who are eating the food planted by the farmers. So we all are dependent on one another for taking the food. Next, you can see the example of a food chain. You can see here the example of a grasshopper. The grasshopper is dependent upon the grass for the food. And then who will eat the grasshopper? The frog. The frog will eat the grasshopper. So grasshopper food is the grass, and frog's food is the grasshopper. Next, you can see now snake is going to eat the frog. So for snake, the food is the frog. So you can see how one another animal is dependent on one another for their food energy. And then the eagle will be going to eat the snake. So this is the food chain. You can see the grasshopper eating the grass, frog is going to eat the grasshopper, then frog is going to be eaten by snake, and then snake will be eaten by the bigger carnivore eagle. Now what happens? When eagle will be dead, it will be decomposed and it will become a nutrient for the soil. So all the dead plants and all the dead animals, they mix in the soil and they help the soil to become fertile. You can see now the food chain, that how the plants and animals are dependent on one another, like I told you in the previous lessons also. You can see here now, this is a food chain that goes on. See, the grasshopper eating the grass, frog is eating the grasshopper, snake is eating the frog, and then snake is eaten by the eagle. So this was an example of a food chain, like how one another animal or the living thing is dependent on one another for getting their food energy. Now in the previous example of I show you the video, you have seen that herbivores, what are they eating? They are eating the plants, and then they are eaten by the meat eating animals or the carnivores, and those carnivores are eaten by the bigger carnivores. Another example of a food chain, you can see here, the corn is a plant, it's eaten by a mouse, then the snake will eat the mouse, or mouse will be eaten by the snake, and in the last, the snake will be eaten by an bigger carnivore owl. Another example here, you can see the plants, grass, it's eaten by the herbivore, that is deer, and then deer will be eaten by the bigger carnivore, that is called a lion in this example. So you can see that how one another animal is eaten by the other animal. Now in this next example is a cabbage eaten by a snail, herbivore, then snail will be eaten by thrush, and then thrush will be eaten by hawk. So snail is a herbivore eating cabbage, a plant. Thrush is going to eat snail, the first carnivore, and thrush will be eaten by the hawk, that is a bigger carnivore. Next you have to refer to the fact alert that is available on page number 69 of your science textbook, and it is about the animal that is cheetah. Now what that fact alert says, that the fastest land animal is cheetah, and it runs at the speed of 100 km per hour to chase its prey. So cheetah is the fastest land animal. Just to summarize this lesson, in this lesson we learned who are the carnivores, the flesh eaters or the meat eaters. And then we talked about the predator. Who is a predator? A carnivore. Then we talked about prey, then how different carnivores catch their prey. Then we studied some of the characteristics of the carnivores. Then we studied how the carnivores digest their meat and how much easier the meat is for them to digest as compared to the herbivores or plant eaters. And in the last, I taught you about the food chains, that how the living things are dependent on one another for their food energy. So I hope that you have understood the lesson, and you will go through your page number 68 and 69 of your science textbook. Thank you so much everyone for watching the video. Goodbye.